Biden fit to govern for 4 more years? And I suspect that the voting public has a strong conclusion that the answer is no. And that actually, far from elites being the ones who are hounding poor Joe Biden, man of the people, out, that it's the elites who have, in some ways, refused to look at the evidence in front of their eyes because it didn't suit the Democratic Party to have this big fight beforehand, or because they were worried about Kamala Harris, or whatever the reasons were. But I just feel like, independent of the enormous threat that Trump poses to the country, I would like to look some of those people in the eye and say, can you really tell me that you truly believe that Joe Biden is in a position, not where he is today at 81, but that you think, honestly, looking at his trajectory the last few years, that at age 85, he's going to be a good president of the United States? And I'm not sure that anyone can honestly give me an answer of yes, or a diagnosis is about her unpopularity. Because if it is things about her political positioning, or how she's performed as vice president, or the overall record of the administration, those things can probably be addressed politically. If there's a certain bias factor against her because of how she presents and who she is, that's a lot harder to overcome. But to Jason's point, Biden's problem is that his singular liability is his age. And not only is that a chronic condition for him, it is a chronically worsening condition. And we are all watching that play out in real time. And I think that's part of the unreality of some of the political conversations that Democrats are having, at least in public, around Biden, is their squeamishness at addressing this. It's not like other kinds of political handicaps, in the sense that it's not a communications problem that Joe Biden has primarily, although he does have one. It is an age problem that he has. I think that it wouldn't have become so salient and such a source of panic for Democrats if it hadn't manifested in the way that it's manifested, which is that the president of the United States at the moment is essentially taken off the board as an effective communicator. And this goes to, I think, these really fundamental questions that we're having at a shockingly late point in a presidential election cycle, right? In July, we're already in July, and we're having this debate about what's the narrative? What's the election about? What's it going to be about? Well, guess what? For all those people who are, I think, very generously grading Biden on a curve about that press conference last night, the bottom line is, what's one of the key early questions that he fumbled and stumbled over and had a hard time giving a good answer to? It's the question of, essentially, why are you running against Donald Trump? And he can't answer that in a compelling way. And what's really striking is that he couldn't answer that in a compelling way more than a year ago when he announced his reelection campaign. And it didn't probably get the attention that it should have at the time. I went back this week and rewatched the press conference that he gave the week that he announced his election bid. And he was asked a question at that time, the same question that he was asked this week. It was asked by ABC's Mary Bruce. Simple question, softball question for a politician. Why are you running again? And he gave a nearly 700-word answer that was word salad. It was like, well, I feel good. Well, I want to finish the job. What job? This week, when he was asked, what job are you want to finish here, sir? He started rambling on about trickle-down economics and how when he was a senator, he really cared about this and stuff like that. That is not prosecuting an effective case, unfortunately, against Donald Trump.